Hey everyone, today we're going to crack open The Wisdom of Royal Glory. It's a guide to power and leadership that's 1,000 years old, but you're about to see just how unbelievably relevant it is for today.
So, let me just start by asking you this. What really makes a truly great leader? Is it just about having raw power? Is it being popular, having a brilliant mind? I mean, it's a huge question, one that people have been wrestling with forever.
Well, what if I told you that some of the most profound, most insightful answers to that very question were written down almost a millennium ago, all in one single incredible book?
Yeah, we're diving into an ancient text that was pretty much the ultimate instruction manual for rulers, a complete guide on how to govern effectively and ethically.
The book's called the Kutadgu Bilig, which translates to the Wisdom of Royal Glory. It was written way back in the 11th century. It's part of this cool genre they called Mirrors for Princes. And that's exactly what it is, a guide designed to teach rulers everything, from running a state and making ethical choices, to diplomacy and even how to carry themselves.
To give you some context, this thing was penned by a guy named Yusuf Has Hajib between 1069 and 1070. And its influence was huge. I mean, people were still carefully making copies of it centuries later. After kind of fading into history, it was rediscovered by scholars in 1825, and ever since, people have been fascinated by it. Now, the real genius of the Kutadgu Bilig is its structure. It's so elegant. The author basically built his entire philosophy of leadership around four key concepts, and he represented them with four symbolic characters. So the whole book plays out as a series of conversations between these four figures. You've got the ruler, Kuntoldi, who stands for justice. Then there's his vizier, Itoldi, who represents fortune or luck. The vizier's son, Ogdolmish, embodies wisdom. And finally, the vizier's brother, Ogdormish, who represents contentment or fate. See, these aren't just ideas. They're forces that are constantly interacting with each other. First up, and this is the absolute foundation of everything, justice. The book makes this so clear with this really powerful metaphor. Oppression is like a raging fire. Justice is like water and extinguishes that fire. For the author, a just ruler isn't just nice to have. It's the only way to have a stable, functioning society. Next up is fortune. The book has this very realistic view of luck, It gets how unpredictable it is. This world is like a colorful shuttle. If you try to chase it, it will run away. If you run away, it will chase you. This is such a timeless piece of advice for any leader. You can be the most just person in the world, but stuff is still gonna happen. You can't conquer fortune, you just have to navigate it. And how do you navigate that? Well, that's where the third pillar comes in, wisdom. The Kutadgu Bilig puts a huge emphasis on never stop learning. However much wisdom you possess, seek more. It's wisdom that lets a ruler actually apply justice the right way and respond when fortune takes a weird turn. It's all about surrounding yourself with people who know what they're talking about. The final pillar is contentment, and it's tied to this idea of deeper understanding. Man's heart is a bottomless sea, and wisdom is the pearl that lies at the bottom. For a ruler, this isn't about just kicking back and being passive. It's about having that inner peace, that clarity that lets you lead with a steady hand, even when things are going sideways. Okay, so we've got these four big philosophical pillars. But how does all this actually translate into practice? Well, the book turns them into a super hands-on guide. This isn't just theory. It's a real handbook for being in charge. For instance, look at its advice for military leaders. It's incredibly specific. A great commander has to be lion-hearted and tough for sure, but also humble. They need to be experienced, cautious, super vigilant, and a master strategist. It's like a complete checklist for anyone who wants to lead effectively. You see this idea of balance popping up over and over again. A leader has to walk this fine line between being kind and being authoritative, between compassion and being firm. And this is where all those pillars come together, right? It's wisdom that helps a ruler use justice without becoming a tyrant, and tempering their strength with a little bit of mercy. And honestly, there's no better line that captures this whole idea of balance than one of the book's most famous quotes. You need a sword to capture countries, but a pen to rule. I mean, this just illustrates it perfectly. The sword, that's your military might. It conquers territory, it wins the battle. But the pen, that symbolizes law and diplomacy and actually running the country. That's what keeps everything together. Brute force might get you power, but it's knowledge and justice that let you keep it. So why are we still talking about this book 1,000 years after it was written?
It's because its pages are just packed with this poetic, timeless wisdom that still speaks to us today. I mean, listen to what it says about the value of knowledge. Wisdom is a wealth that cannot turn to poverty or fall prey to theft or fraud. Think about that. It's the one asset that no one can ever take from you. And it's not just about having knowledge, it's about using it to transform yourself. Intellect and wisdom are great things. If you find them, use them, and fly to the sky. What an inspiring way to think about learning and reason. The writing itself is just beautiful, filled with these elegant metaphors that connect who we are on the inside with what we do on the outside. Just listen to this. The intellect's ornament is the tongue, and the tongue's ornament is the word. It's just a beautiful way of thinking about how our character comes out in the way we communicate. And that brings us to its final, really profound message about what we leave behind, about legacy. In the end, what actually lasts? The book gives this stunning answer. Not a trace of fist or sword will remain. Man will die, and only his words will remain. And 1,000 years later, these words are still here, proving their own point. And it kind of leaves us with a question to think about, doesn't it? What will our words leave behind?